Hello, Jackie Van Riller here. It's been a minute since I've made a video. I apologize for that. I've been busy moving to Panama, writing classes, and doing all kinds of fun stuff. But today we're going to be talking about how to stop grazing all day long, and I do have a face map that I do post to Instagram, so feel free to check it out there. Just look me up under Jackie Van Ruler. We're going to talk a lot about how your body gets hungry and why it's wanting to eat constantly, and then what are some things you can do using facial reflexology, of course, and also some dietary things that you can do to stop grazing all day long. The main reason you don't want to graze all day long is because every time you eat and you put food in your body, you are producing insulin. Over time, if you have a lot of insulin, your body becomes insulin resistant. And whenever you have a lot of extra insulin in your blood, it does two things. One, it makes you hungrier, so you want to eat more. And the other thing is that it stores fat in your body. So even if you're not overweight, sometimes that fat gets stored in your liver and causes fatty liver disease. So you really do not want to be eating all the time. Humans are not made to graze constantly. Ruminant animals are meant to graze constantly. In fact, I have goats and they just eat all day long. Eat, 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 eat. But we're supposed to be taking breaks because it's really good for our body to not have food constantly in our digestive system, and of course not to have insulin circulating in our blood all the time, because it will make you fat and insulin resistant, and insulin resistance is associated with things like diabetes and Alzheimer's and a bunch of other metabolic diseases that you don't want to get. So we're going to start by working some relaxation points. So you're going to do halfway up your forehead, about 2/3 of the way across, and you can just go back and forth towards the side of your forehead. And this spot here is going to help your body release more GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter. So it's great for reducing stress and anxiety. A lot of the times when we're hungry a lot, it's because we're stressed, and food gives us a little hit of dopamine. Makes us feel better momentarily, but then we need more food in order to have a bigger dopamine rush the next time. And so when we do this calming neurotransmitter point, it helps us to relieve that stress, so we don't need food to do it for us. Okay? The point that's paired with that is this point right here at the brows. So these 2 points together are going to help your body release GABA. When you work this point, you can also, if you want, go all the way across the brow this way, so another calming area you can work. Okay, and then work that again on the other side. So I've got a barking dog there. Any noise that my dog hears, they start barking. Okay, and you can come across the brow there. Notice if you're already starting to feel a little bit more relaxed. The next areas we're going to work are areas for the brain, to kind of calm down an overactive mind, and also to help your brain use the hormones and neurotransmitters that it has better to calm it down, and then also to help it use insulin and leptin. Leptin is the satiety hormone. Your fat cells release leptin when you have plenty of energy. However, just like insulin, you can become leptin resistant. And when that happens, again, you'll just be hungry all the time. So we want to change how your brain reacts to leptin. So these 3 points, we have point 103, 106, and 26. So working all of those are going to calm the mind and then help your body to use those neurotransmitters and the hormones better. Okay. Then we're going to come to the right side of the face, in line with the bottom of the nose, directly underneath the iris of the eye, and just a little bit to the right of that, we have points 50 and 41 for the liver and the gallbladder. The liver is very important in blood sugar regulation and all of your body's metabolic needs. So the liver actually loves cholesterol. Cholesterol is the main nutrient of the liver, and it uses cholesterol to make hormones and help your body work well. Now, we've been told that cholesterol is not good for us, and that if we have high cholesterol, you're more likely to get heart attacks and strokes and things like that. It's actually very bad information. You need plenty of cholesterol to make your hormones, to feel good, to nourish your brain, nourish your myelin sheaths on your axons, and you need it for every single cell membrane of your body. And so it's not a bad thing to have high cholesterol, and high cholesterol will not lead to increased heart attacks and strokes. In fact, what they're finding now is that what's really much more detrimental is seed oils. Those are going to be things like corn oils, safflower, sunflower, peanut, corn, canola, any of those highly processed oils. If you can't find it naturally, like in nature, it's probably something you shouldn't be putting into your body. However, cholesterol is something that you do need and that your body uses very wisely. And in fact, when you eat higher fat foods, it keeps you satiated a lot longer and you won't feel hungry all the time. So I highly recommend eating more fatty foods, particularly fatty meats, and lots of protein. Those things are going to keep you satiated. On the other side, on the left side, we're going to work the stomach and the spleen. So in line with the bottom of the nose, directly across the smile line is your stomach point. When your stomach is full, it does not release the hormone Ghrelin, and so that's telling your body that you're not hungry. However, when your stomach is empty, it'll release Ghrelin and tell you that you're hungry. When your body's busy breaking down proteins, which is what your stomach does, then your stomach will be full and it won't release Ghrelin. So you actually want to have a lot of protein in your diet so your stomach is working, it's producing stomach acid, and it's making you feel full. When you're eating a lot of grains, when you're eating a lot of carbohydrates or things like that, it goes right through your stomach's not making as much stomach acid, and you're going to have more issues with hunger. Okay? Then if you go a little bit further and a little bit up from where the stomach point is, and directly under the iris of the eye, we have the spleen point. And the spleen is the organ that controls your digestion. So we want the spleen to be working really well because then you'll have good digestion. You won't feel hungry all the time. But also the spleen is a point that, it's an organ that likes sugar when it's out of balance. So when it's stressed, it will crave sugar. So when it's nice and in balance and feeling good, you won't crave it nearly as much. Then we're going to work a couple points on the upper lip. These are both pancreas points. Pancreas secretes insulin in response to having sugar in your bloodstream. And so working these points will help to decrease insulin release, but also lower your blood sugars as well. So help to secrete just the right amount of insulin versus too much. Then also stop your sugar cravings. So these are points you might want to work several times a day if you have a lot of sugar cravings. If you're eating a lot of grains now, you want to cut that back a lot. Your body's not actually meant to eat grains at all. And actually no animals really are meant to eat grains. Not our cows or sheep or goats or any of those things. We give them grains because it's easier, but their bodies aren't actually meant to handle it either. But what happens in a ruminant animal is that they have a 4-chambered stomach, and so when they eat grass or grains or things like that, their stomach actually ferments it in that first part of the stomach, and then the microbiome that they have then changes that grass or the grains or whatever it is that's supposed to be eating into essential fatty acids. Unfortunately, humans don't have that same process, nor do like cats, dogs, pigs, chickens, or things like that. So they're actually meant to eat a much higher protein diet, particularly protein from animal products is going to help them to make the essential fatty acids for their brain and their nervous system that are so important for overall health. Okay, then the next point we're going to work is right beside the chin here. This is a point for your microbiome. A lot of times we've been told that it's good to eat a lot of fiber. And that is good for ruminant animals to eat a lot of fiber, but for humans we don't need as much fiber because this is actually going to cause us to have a microbiome that feeds off of sugar. The more fiber we eat, the more that this microbiome is going to feed off of sugar. And then they send messages to the brain when you don't have enough sugar saying eat more, eat more, eat more. And these messages to the brain are what causes those addictions. So if you're feeling like I just constantly feel like I have these cravings, a lot of times that's your microbiome sending these messages to your brain saying, you need to eat more sugar, you need to eat more sugar. When you eat less fiber, less carbs, less grains, those eventually, so it won't be overnight, eventually those cravings will be turned off and you'll actually crave more proteins, high-fat foods, things like that that will actually keep you from wanting to eat all the time and keep you satiated longer. And then finally, we're going to work this point right in front of the earlobes here, point 14, and this is a point for the thyroid. So the thyroid is a gland that helps with your metabolism, and one of the things that the thyroid loves along with the liver, is a high-fat diet. In fact, I was getting some hypothyroid, some symptoms of hypothyroidism a couple years ago, and I changed my diet to a high-fat diet, and all of them went away. I lost weight, my metabolism increased, my energy increased, my hair got better, all kinds of things like that. So don't be afraid of adding more fats into your diets. Just make sure that you are decreasing carbs and particularly grains. So those are really bad for your thyroid. Okay, and then as always, we're going to end by circling the ear. So coming down the front side of the ear, up the back side, and circling this whole ear. That sets the formula in. It helps it to last longer. It also balances your nervous system, particularly from the autonomic, which is the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. It's going to do things like balance your blood sugars, balance your blood pressures, help you breathe better, digest your food better, all of those wonderful things. So if you're ever feeling a little bit off, you can just come in and circle your ear. And a lot of times that will help to take care of any of the issues that you're experiencing by just balancing your nervous system. If, like me, you're getting a little hair stuck in there, you can just work that front side of the ear up and down. But it does really help to go on the back side of the ear as well. Plus, it just feels really good. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my new class that's coming up, the Pure Energy Facial Meditation, starting in May. Check out my website, www.mindbodybeautyinstitute.com, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.